Hey there everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're on Little Mountain by MRG. We're going to be doing a little map tour of it. So we're here right now at the starter farm, is what I would say it is. I think MRG would agree with that, but yeah, it's a small little cow operation, and I think it's a perfect setup for a starter farm. So, but let's hop into the PDA quick and take a look at that. So we own all the farms right now. So as you can see, everything in blue right now is an owned, or is a farm available to play on this map. So we're currently here on plot 23, where the quote-unquote starter farm is. It's nice because it's got a lot of small fields around it, so if you wanted to kind of play in that game style, you can kind of start small and grow big, and your fields will get bigger type of thing. So yeah, I think that adds to the starter farm appeal, I suppose. Over here is another cattle farm. Up top left here is a kind of like an arable farm. I believe that he intends for it to be like a potato farm. Apparently potatoes are a common thing-ish in Utah. So I mean, I did see that. I think I was watching a Farmhand Mike video, and he was talking about how, they were mowing alfalfa in Tremonton, Utah, which I actually think this is what the area, kind of where it's based off of. But he was saying that one of the farms around the area used to do sugar beet or something like that. I don't know, but anyway, so yeah, I believe he kind of intends for this to be a potato farm at some point. He did mention that as well to me and his testing group or whatever, that's what he intended. And then over here is a big like feedlot operation, which kind of split between two, because this here is just a big feedlot. And then there's this actual farm area over here, and then you have a field and two more little feedlot pens type of thing. This is another arable kind of farm. You can kind of either combine it with this one, or you can add on to the dairy farm, which is here on 41. So there's definitely a lot of variety. Small fields for the people that want to play small. There's some pretty decent sized fields for the guys that want to do bigger stuff. So yeah, so let's just get into it, and we'll go through the map, and while we're doing that, I'll also be showing you how to work the animals and where the triggers are and all that stuff. So as we leave the starter farmhouse, we're right here by the road. There's also a lot of buildings that you can use, such as barns and stuff, in other properties. So if you were to own kind of this whole area, which is free, like the free areas, there are some smaller, at least in this area is kind of where your townish area is. There is some smaller properties that you could do a little farm there as well if you didn't really want to focus on cattle and kind of start a smaller operation. So here's our cattle. We got some brown Swiss cows. Here, every farm will have different cows. So, as you can see, obviously pretty self-explanatory. This is going to be your feed trigger. Just turn my HUD on quick so we can actually see. So yeah, this is your feed trigger. Again, pretty self-explanatory. And then the straw trigger actually is right here by this door. Kind of went through and pre-placed all the equipment to kind of just save time, so we're not having a forever long map tour. And that is your straw trigger right through that door there. While that continues to kind of empty itself, we'll take a look at the rest of this farm. So we have 2 bins here that are usable. We have a kind of a large cold storage type shed here where you can store your equipment. We have a fuel tank that is usable, and then kind of a nice little area where you can either use or store some wrapped bales or equipment or whatever you want to use. Then we have another kind of open style shed here, which is could be another hay shed or a equipment storage. So plenty of storage for your smaller operations. But yeah, I actually really like this farm. It's actually pretty cool. So there is also if you want to just do bales, you can do that, but you have to, like, if you don't want to blow the straw in there, you can do that, but you just have to go over here, just kind of show you it real quick. Grab your bale. Thank goodness for easy dev tools to make all this pretty speedy. But it's right here inside the door, so as I hit the door as I'm trying to go in. Don't think that yep, there you go. So it just disappeared like that. So I'm gonna close the gate. I don't want any cows escaping. Uh-oh. We're gonna glitch out. Oh, yeah, we're good. So then we're gonna take our straw blower down to the next farm. Another kind of a lean-to type shed here on this farm. Open, I guess not really a lean-to, that's way bigger than a lean-to, but open style shed, which I believe is probably pretty common in this area. And then some decorative bins. Those are not usable. Across the road we have another little farm, horse farm. There's 2 horse farms on this map. So we'll just kind of pull in here and take a little drive in quick. Another possible bale barn type thing to feed your horses. I don't think I'll be doing horses just because I don't really enjoy doing horses, but it's kind of cool because this is, you got your little pasture here. The cool thing about this map is that you have all these little like gates that you kind of little pasture areas where you can like mow and stuff, and I feel like that just it's very fitting for the area. You'll see a little bit more of it as we move on over to the town area when we come back. And you have your little field entrances, which I love personally. I like having actual field entrances. I don't know why, it's just kind of a thing. Just a nice clean map. It's definitely, when you come into the map, you got the MRG feel. It's definitely an MRG map for sure. So, as we come in here, we got our other cows already set up. We've got, in each of these cow pens have a manure trigger built in. Well, I'd say each of them. I think there are some issues going on where not all of them do, but I'll address that once we get over to the large dairy and stuff like that. So, your straw trigger here with the second farm is going to be right here. So you want to kind of just like space yourself to where it's going to blow kind of into the feed trigger, like that. And you made it large enough so where you can kind of role play yourself a little bit, and you can kind of drive slowly and blow it. There you go. OCD's getting the best of me where I have to actually empty the bale. And then we can back this in. And we're going to unhook this. We don't need it anymore. I will also show you that there is a straw trigger right inside the door as well. And both on this farm and the first farm, the bale rings are usable. And that should disappear. Okay, so, if you want to just do bales, it's right there. Again, just kind of right inside that door. But yes, and then you also have your manure spawned. So as you can see, I'm in September because I already kind of set everything up so it's visible. And then I just advanced the day. So I fed everybody, or all the pens, and put straw into them and all that good stuff. So manure's there. You gotta smuck it out. The bale ring is usable, where you can drop some hay in there and it will take it to feed the cows. If you want to just do hay, this feed chute is where you load your animals up. Put your animals. Then we have our silage bunk here at the back. Doing some silage if you'd like. Another possible, hay storage. 2 usable bins here with 2 decorative bins. And then you got your workshop. We'll park up. This is the Western Iowa shop. Works just like the Western Iowa shops, where you actually, if you want to open the door, you have to come inside and open it at the button. As well as in here, if you want to open the smaller one, you gotta do it inside. So rest of this tour, well, for the next part of the tour, we'll take this little side by side. Get around faster. You got your fuel tank there. Maybe some little commodity bunks, I suppose, is what you could use that for, and then another open style shed. So that is farm 2. At least that's what I'm calling it. Across the road, you do have. You can get out on the road. Got some heavy traffic in here. Across the road, you could have like a second farm area if you wanted to. There's also kind of some room where you could maybe build onto a farm, or build onto this area and make it kind of a bigger farm. add some buildings or whatever. Sheds do open. I like to think that this is like the house for this building, or this farm here. We'll head back towards the first farm. This map does have alfalfa. I'm not 100% sure if that is the new Antler 22 alfalfa texture, or if that's the one that most of the maps have been using. I think those ones are by Lancet Boy, I believe. So we're gonna go over one quick feature here, just while we're down here. Take this little side road down to one of the circular, I think there's 4 circular fields on this map. And we're gonna kind of go over this. There are 3 mods that are kind of required. Well, not, I mean, obviously the pivot isn't required, but it's cool to use on this map because you do have the circular field. So we're just gonna kind of go through this. Maybe. Are we gonna? An MRG does have in the middle where the pivots were, because I do believe that at the early editions they did have pivots that he was going to try and make work, but then this mod came out, so I think he just decided, you know what, let's use that instead. Which, I mean, smart, I think, at least. So I think, so you have to, there you go, so you hit N to kind of disassemble the pivot. Oh, I'm gonna, I think you can detach from it. So once you got it in place, you can kind of detach from it. And then once you hit N, it'll kind of just build itself. And you can turn it on. You got to fill it up with liquid fertilizer. So the pivot is actually uses liquid fertilizer, and that's kind of how that works. Obviously, it's not water like a normal pivot would be, but yeah, that's your pivot. So I will have a link to the 3 mods that I deem to be necessary for this map, and you can download them there if you don't already have them. We'll leave the tractor on the side. We'll hop in back into our sidekick, and we'll go check out the animal dealer while we're down here on the southern side of the map. I've already received questions in my Discord if I'm planning on doing a series on this map. I think so. I would like to. Obviously, it's all just kind of up in the air. But, yeah, so. We'll see. MRG and I have talked a little bit about maybe doing a multiplayer type thing together. Should be pretty cool. But so here's your animal dealer. Pretty sure it's just exported from Elm Creek. So you got your animal pen here, or your animal trigger there if you need it. You got a bale sell point there as well that you can sell bales. We'll head back north. To the left is the second circular field, so there's 2 right there together. pretty decent sized fields. The bigger you kind of go out from the town area, like I said, so it's kind of a good way to build a map. Essentially, you picked a good area because you know you can do the start small thing and build bigger. More little fenced in areas where you can it's almost like you're just mowing the backyard. You know, you're mowing the yards, which is pretty cool. I really like that. Everything has gates around it, fences, all that stuff. Here is another kind of arable farm. I don't know if any of you recognize this building, but this is the Welker Farms map building. Cold storage, it's pretty cool. I feel like that's really fitting for this map. Got another kind of small shed here where you almost could do like bales. Another one there, and then you got your like back field here. I just feel like this would be such a good spot for like a pasture for more cows if you wanted to just do like a freezer, like a beef freezer kind of operation or something. I don't know. Grab a mod, like an open pasture mod or something. Do that, that'd be kind of cool. Yeah, like all of these little grass fields just have like little pathways back behind some houses that you mow right up next to the houses. It's just cool. I think it's a pretty cool little town area. I like it a lot. Another big cold storage shed. I don't think there's anything around back here. Just some decoration. But again, another grass area. You can mow. Another one here. Enclosed in there. Maybe you could put some horses in there or something. Because right across the street is another horse farm. So this is the second horse farm. This building here does open as well. Has good sounds. Looks like maybe just a little bit of some visual fixing needs to be done. Another fuel tank. Another little area where you can maybe put some horses or something. I think this is just purely decorative. I don't think there's any way you can get anything in there, but this little area here, you could definitely move your horses into there. So good thing about horses is they don't have to, you can actually like ride them around and all that good stuff. So you can put them really wherever you want to. If you want to. As you can see it in the background, MRG has added a really nice long train to this map, which is pretty cool. Just another kind of a immersive thing, but you have your another drive into that back grass field there, and this residential thing. Got another Western Iowa shop in that house. So like I kind of said, there's a lot of like little areas, little residential areas that you could do like a small farm operation, because all of these sheds, they do open and they do work. So big horse stable area, which is pretty slick. Definitely a horse area, so if you do like your horses, here's your definitely a good map for it, I'd say. Got a few bale sale spots on this map, so definitely a big like grass map, if that's what you're thinking. Just a cool, just a big area, just a big horse barn here. It's pretty slick. Never seen this model before. Yeah. Like I said, I'm not a big horse guy, but definitely there's some opportunity for some role play or something like that if you want to do that with this. Back here's your second bale salt point. Continue on towards the north side of the map. But first, let's hit this. I'm gonna call it the potato farm. So there has been a update to the map fixing, you'll see the issue. So make sure if you are wanting to play this that you do update the hotfix. But we have our farmhouse there, kind of gated in a little bit there. We got our second, maybe like a little worker house type thing. Got some more sheds. These, like I said, these do open. They're decorated very nicely, which I think, again, these are from the Walker Farms map, I do believe. Decorative. 2 fuel tanks here. More open sheds. But yeah, so obviously you can see the deco in there. MRG just, and he said it was just a quick mistake, moved something on accident right before uploading and just didn't catch it. So the deco is floating right now, but that is fixed. So I'll have a link to the updated version of the map in my description. So that is not a thing. But then maybe here is your like potato stores if you do want to run this as a potato farm. There's Farm 3. Come back out here on the main road and we have our IH dealership. JCL dealership, I believe, is what this one is. Small little IH dealership there. You can get your IH equipment. Obviously now it'd probably be your Case equipment because IH was bought out by Case. Come across the road. Should be out, so you want to go. We're going to follow the rules here. We're pulling into the dairy. We'd rather pull in here, and then you kind of come around back. And as you can see, we got some big old milk tanks there. This is the milk sell point. Got your signs leading you to the exit. Kind of a cool little dairy sell point there. And then over here is your bulk products buy points. You got your fertilizer here under the nutrient ag tank. You got your herbicide there. And then in this building, set up a truck so I can kind of show you. This is your lime, seed, and bulk fertilizer buy points. So, seeds, lime, solid fertilizer. So, do that, and you got your triggers and all that good stuff. So, there is that one. These are the BC Bueller co-op buildings, which have become very popular. And they're great buildings. BC Bueller, he is a modding wizard. So as we come back down, we'll take a trip back through the big horse barn area thing. And we'll get a look at the train too, perfect timing. But there's like a back road here, kind of like a dirt back road that runs along this river. It's pretty cool. We'll get like kind of a back view of all the residential houses and the river. And as you can see, this train's no joke. It's a pretty good sized train. So maybe if you didn't want to disturb the residents, you can always come down the back dirt road and cut your grass fields that way. You can pull your bale trailer up, I guess, to the back to load up your bales that way. Guess that would work too. Back to the main road now. We'll take a left and then a hard right before we cross the railroad tracks. And this is going to be your grain sell point, as well as your third bale sell point, actually. So you're just going to pull up through here and sell your goods there. And the rest of this is just purely decorative. Maybe some visual fix there. It's just kind of like a template wall thing I think he was just using. But this actually is not your bell cell trigger yet. It's right. Bale trigger is going to be right here where it shows. Third bale cell. And as we come out, take a right, and then we will take a look at the large feedlot operation first, and then we'll circle back to the dairy farm. There's a little bit more involved on the dairy farms. I love the mountains in the background. Very Utah feel. I feel like Utah. I mean, I've only been to the extent of my visit in Utah was I flew into Salt Lake City, and that was awesome. It's like you're in a bowl of mountains, which you don't see every day around here where I'm from in Michigan. So, but anyway, so we're in the this is the beef farm, the feedlot farm is what I'm kind of calling it. Got two little houses here. You got a big old open equipment shed. Got some more decorative bales here. A little, maybe like a grain shed or something next to it. Decorative bale shed. Got 3 usable bins here and then 2 decorative. And we have another barn that does have doors that do open. Just park up here. I gotta get out. Kind of the same model I think we've seen already. And then we'll hop into this setup here and I'll show you how they work. So this one, obviously you can see you got a little feed alley going on. And it shows this feeder specifically because you can do both sides. You can feed on both sides. So as you can see, that's kind of how that is. You can go all the way down and feed. And then we just flip sides on the feeder by pushing the U button on the keyboard, and then we can feed into this side as well. So pretty well set up there. There is not manure showing up in this pen for some reason. I will definitely report that to MRG. I don't know if it's been updated in his update or not, but I am trying to get this video out as quick as possible so you guys can kind of know how everything works. The feed chutes on both, or the animal chutes on both of these lots is where you get your animals in. The bale rings, they do work as well, so you can put some hay bales in there if you decide that you just want to do hay instead of TMR. Then I will show you the straw triggers. Open our little John Deere here. So the way that you're going to want to do this is you got your little spout here on the feeder, or on the blower. Probably best practice to just point it straight down, and then you're just going to blow your straw pretty much just right into the feed trough. Is kind of where the straw trigger is for bedding. And then we'll kind of just back up. We'll go down the other side of the alley. Oh jeez. Ah jeez. Excuse the poor driving. I usually consider myself a pretty good driver, so that's just embarrassing. So then, yeah, so same one with this, is you're just going to kind of drive down the alley and point your spout here at the feed trough, because as you can see, if we go up too high, it won't detect it. So you want to blow it straight into that feed trough, and you'll pretty much always get that detected. So then we'll take a little jaunt back here to the very large feed lot on this nicely made path right next to this very nice looking alfalfa field. Manure, I don't believe, spawns in this big feedlot here. Man, I sure wish that there was a way to make it so pens visually showed more than just 25. It's kind of a shame. It's too bad, because that would be awesome to see that pen with just a bunch of cows. It would be kind of, maybe it would be kind of cool to just add like static cows in a way. I don't know, but yeah, it'd just be kind of cool to just see a bunch of cows in there. But so yeah, back here we have some more bale sheds. Got kind of a path back here into the woods. Kind of doesn't really go anywhere. But yeah, we got a nice little dirt path that leads us back to maybe some more bale sheds or whatever you want to use that for. Very flat map, but it being like accented by the like distant mountains, it's pretty cool. At least in my opinion, I think it's pretty slick. So same thing here, except the straw trigger is just down here at this first one. And then obviously you have your feed trough here. I'm not going to show you. I don't feel like I need to show you at least where to feed. It's pretty evident where you need to feed, so, and that does work. I did try it, so. And then we have this chute here is your place to buy the cows, so everything's pretty well laid out. Nothing's really too surprising. I guess the only one that I kind of took a second to figure out was where to blow the straw on that starter farm. Alright, so we're back here up at the front in the farmyard, and we're going to say goodbye to the beef farm, and we're going to head across the road to kind of a little satellite farm type of thing. I guess you could either combine this farm with the dairy farm, or you could combine it and make it kind of a arable satellite farm type of thing for the beef farm. Or if you just farm everything, it doesn't really matter. So you do have 3 bins here. You have the Western Iowa shop. You got some crop storage sheds or something if you want to, again, if you want to do some root crops there. Entrance into a nice big grass field. That butts right next up, or right up next to the dairy property. Kind of just zooming through these because we're kind of cutting it long here. So, nice house there. Kind of a reskin of the Elk Mountain house. Added like a brick texture there. Looks really nice. Probably use that as the farmhouse for the dairy farm that we're coming up on. Here's your initial spot for the dairy farm, maybe where you kind of do your arable stuff. Got a bin, and then 2 more bins. 2 more or 3 more? How many more? 3 more, so you got a total of 4 bins there. You got the open hoop barn there by OS Farms. And then you got some more storage, open storage there. And we come back here, and this is your very large dairy farm operation. So as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4 heifer lots all on this. Got a big old silage pad there. Then you got your dairy barn over there, which we'll get to. Got your silage pad, like I said, but then you also have 3 silage bunks that you can do silage with. For those of you that use Courseplay and the like silage pusher option of Courseplay, these bunks do work with that, but the open bunk, like the silage pad there, does not. So you're going to be pushing yourself if you're going to use the big old silage pad. Jump here in the case, and the only vehicle mod, well, not the only one, maybe the second vehicle mod we have, but I felt like this is just a perfect feed mixer for this big old dairy. This is by Drosty Egg. It's on his itch page, and I will also have that a link to it. Holds 64,000 liters of feed, which is awesome, because you are going to have a lot of cows to feed here. So again, the feed troughs are where you feed. Nothing new, nothing exciting about that, but the cool thing is that you can kind of just drive straight and it continues to feed the pens that you're driving in front of. So it doesn't ever stop it, you just keep going. The only pen that I see that has manure in it is heifer lot 3, which I believe is that one. So you're only going to have manure in that pen for now. I will also let MRG know that about that. I'm sure he might look into updating that. Looks like I got stuck. Got stuck with this big old feeder. feeder wagon, mixer cart. Then we come around here, and you have your 5th animal pen, which has manure spawned, and your feed trough. This to me is kind of like an overflow, almost, maybe like a special needs pen type of thing for your dairy milking cows. Maybe you just want to rotate them, you know, do a little RP. This is your main dairy barn. It's pretty cool if we can get out and look at it quick. Maybe you can store some bales in here or something to make feeding a little bit easier or whatever, but you got your milking parlor right here, which is pretty cool. You don't see a lot of milking parlors in maps, which I really appreciate when you actually do see one. Really like that. Because not everybody's just running around with robot feeds or milkers. But again, this is your feed trough. We gotta empty it. We can't let this feed go to waste. This side of the trough, these cows are gonna get a load of feed. But so then we'll just quickly show you the spots for your straw. Hop into this Kubota, the mate here. I was going to show you how the pumps and hoses thing works, but it's pretty self-explanatory. I'll just show you quick what you do when we get to that point. But again, same as the other ones. Make sure you're pointing down right at the feed trough. Maybe it is how you do it. Oh, it's because I'm not highlighted. So yeah, so I didn't have the right tool selected. So yep, you just come down here, blow your straw in, same as every other one. Just make sure you blow it right into the feed trough. Essentially, this one, yeah. It's kind of more so right in front of the feed trough. Make sure you're not driving too close to the feed trough as well. That's your straw for the heifer lots. Be the same here. Just show you, just so I can prove to you that it is where it is. Right there in front of the feed trough. Same as this one. Right into the feed. So all of them are the same. That's where your straw blowing trigger is going to be. So next, I'm going to show you guys how this animal loading system works. So as you can see, we have a lot of things. There are a lot of pens sitting there together. So you're going to want to come in here. This is one of the mods that is required for this map. I would say this is the one that you just gotta have. It's the Animal Cane by JMF. Really brilliant mod. You just pick it up, and your feed chute is going to be here, right? So you're going to load your cows into here initially with your trailer or whatever. And then you're going to want to come in to here. You want to come over here and hit. Well, no. So first off, you're going to want to load your cows, right? So you just put them into this. You just put them into this thing here. So we're going to go ahead and take 5. And they're in the animal cane, right? So then you have your 5 from this pen. And then we're going to come over here where the new trigger is, and we're going to put them into this pen, right? So then you can keep doing that all the way down. Or if you wanted to move 20, say you want to leave 5 in, so we're going to take 15 now from this pen into the cane. So there's only 5 cows in this one, this initial one, because we're going to want to put 10 down here into this next one, which is right here, right? So we kind of understand. We're going to put all 15 in here, so we have none in the cane. But then we want to put 5 of these ones, which we're going to have to take from here. We're going to take 5 of the 15 in here, and we're going to move them down to the end. Voila. So that's how that works. That's kind of the only way that you can get in. I mean, obviously there's gates that you can back a truck into with a trailer. You can see that far gate, so you can open all these gates up and move them. But so we're gonna show you. I'm gonna show you kind of how the manure works here, kind of the idea of it. Because we got manure in this pen, we're gonna use this. Do a little role play. We're gonna take our 10 cows. We're going to take them out because we're going to muck out this pen, so we don't want any cows in here while we're mucking them out. We're going to move them down here into this pen. We're going to leave our cane in here so we can put them back later. So we moved them out of there, and we're going to obviously, you kind of have to go a little bit more and maybe move all of them down or whatever the plan is. But we're going to open these gates up because we're going to take that manure from the 3rd pen with our skid steer. I'm really going to try and I'd really like to keep this video under an hour. But our skid steer. Drive in. And you could, if you wanted to, you could just kind of dump it over the wall. And kind of, you can kind of see that there, that area there where, it could be like a big old manure store as well. But kind of the idea of this system, this manure system, is that we're going to take it, we're going to come back to where that landing area is in the 1st pen. Maybe should have used the wheeled version to make this a little bit quicker. But we'll do this. I'm gonna open this gate. And we can dump our manure down into the pit. So this pit down here is actually where the dairy barn manure spawns. So you can kind of just combine it all into that big old pit there. And that is how kind of the intention of that, all these pens work, at least for manure. We're going to grab ourselves another cane because there is these other cows. So the cow trigger for the dairy barn now is right here. Obviously, you could back your truck down in if you wanted to load them direct into here. You could do that. But, again, the idea is that you could take them from this initial, like, pen here, and then move them into the dairy barn, like, once they become heifers or, you know. We're going to take 10. And then you can move them as well. So then this trigger for this like special needs lot or overflow lot or whatever you want to call it is also down this alleyway. So then we're going to move the 10 that we took from the dairy barn because they're, you know, maybe it's like a calving lot or something, whatever you want to use this for. 10 of them because they're about to, you know, calf. We're going to put them in here. And that's how that works. So, kind of all down the feet, or down these alleyways, gangways, whatever you want to call them, are where your feed or your animal triggers are, and the animal cane is how you move them all. So then, next, quickly, I will show you the slurry pit. How this works with the 46 mods Jono dealio. So you're gonna do this. You have your back one selected, and then we want to, and you push Q on it to detach it, and you push X to unfold it to lift it, and then O to lift the pipe. Then you're gonna come over here. Drop her down like that, you know, into the pit, and then we're going to move our pipe over, probably up a bit, and then we'll do that. And then, oh, that's not what we want to do. Oh, shoot. And then, I know there's a way that you can like do the effect to make it like kind of start agitating or whatever, but honestly I don't I don't remember exactly how to do that, but so that's how you kind of get that going. And then we'll come over here, and this slurry pit is just attached to the dairy barn, so you're not going to get slurry or anything from the other pens. So this is just the dairy barn that takes from this, or that makes slurry. So It would be cool if all of them were like kind of combined into it, but I don't even think that that's a possible thing. I'm not gonna lie to you. Oh, there you go. Filled up a bit. There we go. So we got the pipe under there. It's doing its thing. Got our 6,000 liters now. Unfold her, and then you're off. You're off to doing your favorite job on the farm. Looky there. Beautiful. Just beautiful. Inject in manure like it's no one's business. So that is Little Mountain there. So if you have any questions or concerns or issues or errors that you found, let me know. I'll report them back to MRG, and then we'll try, or he'll try and get them fixed, I'm sure. But so thank you for watching, guys, and I'll have all the links that are necessary in the description below, and so you can play the map to its fullest. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.